No intro today because I was having some technical difficulties and I just wanted to get the show going because I'm late. So I wanted to do that. I think I've got everything fixed. I got my audio fixed. I've got uh, the uh, the name of the title of the show. I got that fixed. Um, and I think I've got a solution to the Twitter problem. Because I had people trying to encourage me to build a new X account, and I really didn't want to do that. Um, but I think I have. Hey, good morning, Georgie, my bestie. I think I have a problem or a solution to the X problem. There's another account that's willing to stream the show. So I'll be back on X streaming. The good thing is I don't have to. They have a pretty large audience, so I won't have to build an audience. Hey, there's the Huffs. I was talking about you this morning. I was talking to my mother this morning, and we were talking about the cruise. We're really excited because we have such a good core group of people going. That's what'll make it fun. You know, when you have people going, if anyone else decides to come, it's just going to be, that much more fun. But the fact that we have good people going that we know we're going to have fun with, yeah. Um, but that'll be good. Another thing I wanted to talk about, there were people going after me in the fake group, and I didn't care. It doesn't when you do this, when you make content and post it publicly, you need to be ready that some people are just not going to like you, and they don't have to like me. I don't care. Um, but when that happens, you know, y- they are going to do stuff. They're going to do stuff, um, which they did. Um, I'm just sorry. I'm just trying to copy the link here because I'm gonna put it in the Facebook group. Um, and I don't care what they do that they come after me. Like they weren't doing anything serious. They were calling me fat. They were saying I didn't have a good PFT. I was like, really? Because you're pretty stupid. I wasn't kicked out of the Marine Corps, and as an officer, you need to have a first class PFT. If not, they'll kick you out. And I was not kicked out. But they were trying to say that I failed PFTs and stuff. It's like, no. Uh, they were trying to say I couldn't run, which I can't run now. And I was like, well, if you're talking today, yeah, I can't run today. Uh, I've got I've got bad ankles, I've got bad knees. If I run today, like the last time I ran, I did a pretty decent time. I was still less than 8 minutes a mile, and which my best, I was doing sub 7 minute miles. Like my fastest time in the Marine Corps was a 19 minute 4 second of 3 miles. And that's fast. That's fast. That's less than 6.5 minutes a mile average. Um, but uh, I definitely couldn't do that today. I'm out of shape. But the last time I did run, I did like 7.5 minute miles are not a bad time. And I was doing about that, but I'll tell you, for days I limped. My my joints were noticeably making like audible noise that people were like, "Was was that literally your knee?" Um, so yeah, those days of my life of running like that, they're done. They're done. And that's just comes with getting older. And when you're when you do almost 20 years in the military, your body will take a toll. Absolutely will. All the medical stuff I deal with today um, is all about or is all taking a toll on me. That's what it is. But we did find out who it was that was making all those posts, eventually, eventually they always tell on themselves. When people are doing things like that, it's because they have a mental issue. And they tell on themselves because at the end of the day, they want you to know they're the ones doing it. They want you to know they're the ones affecting you. And the person who was posting, they eventually outed themselves, that someone, a couple people were messaging me, and the one was like, "Oh, that's Poor Marine," and Poor Marine is a fan of uh, Scott and Heather, Spawn Trooper and Squid, and it's again, it's Scott and Heather's home for the mentally unwell. They have to stir up drama, and I have zero doubts it was being stirred up in their Discord. They've stopped talking about it publicly, but I do know that they've been causing other, like, they stopped with the back and forth of me. They stopped with the back and forth of George. So now they're focusing on other people. And I've already had people who were like, "Hey, I have to apologize. I'd taken their side, and now, they turned on me. I can see how they are." And I was like, "Yeah, that's just, they need therapists." Pretty much, I think that whole group needs therapists. They should get a therapist to come in, and then they can make it a whole group thing. Uh, I was like, but yeah, this is naturally where all of that will go. Yeah, Poor Marine is definitely watching, Georgie. Uh, but I don't watch them. I don't care what they do, but they care about me. They care about Georgie. And there's a couple people they care about. It's like, coming at me. It, it did not end well for Poor Marine. You know, W- what did you think you were going to accomplish? You weren't bothering me. Uh, but all they did was highlight that they have mental issues that they are not treating. Right, Jay? Right, Jay? I They need to stop with the drama. Like, I don't care what they do. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Go do your thing. Stop posting anonymously about me in the fake group. Who cares? Who cares that I can't run? Am I fat? Yeah. When I got out of the military, I was drinking a lot. I ballooned up. I've lost from my max. I've lost 30 pounds. Um, I went through depression when I couldn't do the things I was used to doing. It happens. I went and I got myself a therapist, and since 2016, I've been in therapy virtually nonstop. The only times I wasn't was when the VA screwed me over, took away my doctor, and then I had to go, "Oh, we'll get you a referral to a new one." And then they took their sweet ass time bringing me to a new doctor. I'm thankful it happened now, but I've been in therapy, and that's why you don't see, like, Skipper out there causing drama. Like, I do this show to help people. Ultimately, the mission of this show is to help and entertain military veterans and their families. That's my goal. Help and entertain. Um, and I think I do a pretty good job. Did you guys like the video I did yesterday about the senior enlisted advisor being a Blue Falcon? That happens all the time. Um, I've been, people could say I've been neglectful, but I was gone for a week. I was on vacation. I tried to make content while I was gone. Um, but I am not. People who know me, when the drama starts, I'm the guy that walks away. I'm like, I'll listen to it. When other people have drama, I'll be like, "Oh, give me the dirt. I'm interested in what's going on." And I recognize that's a part of my mental issues. You know, that's where Skipper, like, I want to hear what's going on, but I don't want to be involved in it. I'll joke about being involved in it. I'll joke about doing things, but that's not my goal. And you see that with, you know, Jay as an example, not about the drama at all. Not about the drama. Uh, Georgie, yeah, Georgie D playing. Did you guys see that short I did of me? I was, if you haven't, go onto the YouTube and watch it. I was traveling and I was in the Las Vegas airport and I was at gate D6 and I told my son this joke and he just looked at me like, Dad, that is the worst joke. And I just started recording and I go, D8, D11. And then I turn to the plane and I go, D plane. It's so stupid but funny. I loved it. And I was like, if I love it, other people are gonna love it. Big Dirt sleeps during your live. Well, I mean, hey, everybody needs. I've turned on. There are YouTube channels that will calm me and will actually put me to sleep, and I enjoy that about them. And I've talked about this with my PTSD. Spray paint art videos on YouTube are what I found, and I had people there like, you need to do yoga, you need to do massages, you need to do Reiki, you need to do I'm trying to think, group therapy. I tried a lot of that stuff. I did. Some did well, some didn't. But spray paint art videos immediately calm me. And I can recognize it that will only pretty much work for me. Um, and it's a lot of different things. It's because I'm visually watching it, I'm hearing it, I'm thinking about what they're doing, and it just calms all my senses. And I'm not a guy who, like, for years, people would be like, "You need to take a nap." I could not take a nap unless I was exhausted. Like being deployed, people sleep all over. I cannot. I never was one to take naps. If I watch a spray paint art video, I'll be asleep. Love watching rug cleaning. Yeah, see, and I've said this before. If it's stupid but it works, it's not stupid. But people need to find that thing. All these people who come after me and who cause this drama, what they're not finding is their own peace. They're finding energy, but they're not finding their own peace. You need to find your own peace. And the reason they want to cause drama is because they're used to operating at this level. So when things calm down, they get bored. In fact, I forget what book I was reading where it said kids who grew up in a traumatic household, when they finally become adults and then go into, buy their own home and now everything is calm, they find it very boring because they're used to the energy up here. So that's why those people, they'll seek out that energy. That's why people start drama. They're seeking out that energy. I like watching a haircut. Oh, I could see where that one would work. Farm Simulator 19 keeps me calm. Yeah, you got to find those things that will take you out of your space and just bring everything down. I've wanted to get into MMA training, but how big because big how screwed up my right knee is, I don't want to risk injuring it more. I don't know if that would injure your knee. If you're doing like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, a lot of that's on the ground. It will affect you, but I don't know if you would injure it more. He was also going after Rosalind Duke, who hasn't been involved in any of it. Who was going after? Poor Maureen, yeah, right? Why would you go after Rosalind? Like, she is just like, I have a lot of respect for Rosalind. I think she does a great show. I try to watch her show when I get my notifications on it. Uh, which, by the way, for a lot of you guys, I don't get your YouTube sucks at notifications. So if there's other ways for me to get notifications, uh, I keep my computer on at work, and I like having stuff in the background. Again, marine stuff, I'm used to the level being up here, and I have a job where my job is very calm, so I understand that keeping YouTube on in the background is a part of my normalization, even though it's background noise. But yeah, for those of you like if you have other places that you're streaming to, I'll turn on my notifications because I will get a better notification that way. I've already got. Did I erase it? Nope. You can see on my phone. There's a Rumble notification. I did get my YouTube notification today, but that I'm every day I get my Rumble notification. Once a week, I'll get a YouTube one. You got to watch the mediation with Travis. Oh, okay. I'll check. Travis was on the other day. I turned him on, but I just had too much going on in my office. I couldn't watch it. Um, it's fun for Jessica. Something to bounce. Why would you go out like if you're on this side of the what the hell's drama? Why would you ever go after Rosalind Duke? One reason. One reason. Jealousy. That's the only reason. Only reason I can see. Mismatch Menace, welcome. Which, by the way, to all of you guys, I didn't welcome you guys. Nancy, Just Jay, Voss, Jessica, Georgie, Rogue Mama, David Green, uh, Jessica Okafried, who else? Big Dirt, Darlene, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just looking, make sure I didn't miss anyone. If I have missed you, just put a thing in there. Miss PJ, good morning. Um, I like welcoming people. It's actually one of the things I enjoy the most about the stream. When I see people, especially if they haven't been here for a while, I'm like, oh, it really makes my day. Uh, and if you notice, like when other drama pops off, I know I've been blamed for the drama by people. If you notice when a lot of this drama pops off, I'm not the one jumping into it. Like if you're talking about me, oh yeah, by all means. Um, but I really just I really don't jump into it. I'll if it's Lynette and John, oh yeah, because I've seen where they've attacked innocent people, right, Dennis? So yeah, I will go after people like that. And like I said, I never expected any of this turned into the story it was. I was just screwing around on Facebook, and when she started interjecting herself into the whole water drama, which I followed the water drama. I follow a lot of uh government corruption stuff. And when Lynette started jumping herself in, and I'll tell you the first time I noticed Lynette was when Russ he did when he canceled the meeting and she went on to the news and Jeremy said, I am not going to show that person. I was like, huh. And then all of a sudden we started seeing more and more of her. And I was in it just for the popcorn. And I started my Facebook group just to laugh about it. Not I wasn't even, causing the drama. I was just laughing about it. You're not the one causing the drama, but you sure run with it when it comes to you. Oh, absolutely. I'm not afraid of the drama. I do recognize it makes good videos. Um, and I will monetize it. Absolutely. You're giving me I don't have to prepare for drama talk at all. I don't have to think about what am I going to talk about today. I don't have to pull up stories. You just made it easy for me. And it never for all these people who want to start the drama, it never works out for them. Never has it helped any of them? In fact, I had someone who said, "Hey, did you notice when they stopped talking about you and start doing the drama, their viewership actually went up and their subscribers went up?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, that's about right." I think Zim is the new Russ the Sus of OC. Zim always has had um, his agenda. Uh, the thing about Zim, though, is it's not corrupt. Like, it's one thing to say, "Hey, I've got my agenda, my things that," like, when you know people, when you know their motivation, it becomes very easy to deal with them because it's like, "Okay, we can work within the rules for stuff." But Russ was not working within the rules. Russ was doing things very illegally. Like, n yeah, very illegally. And, but yeah, Zim's gonna have his own things he wants done. It's funny because Brett clued me into a lot of that stuff, and Zim put us up work on Travis 2.0. Um, yes, there is like I see what Travis is doing. Um, Travis, you can tell that Travis hasn't done this type of thing before. Um, and when you're dealing with a local entity, like, and I'll say, I told you guys I'm looking to do a coffee thing here. The biggest question mark I have is my local zoning and planning board. But I am right now, before we even buy anything, I've already reached out to my local uh, city council, and I'm going to start talking to people on the planning commission. You want to have those discussions and say what makes you comfortable, what not makes you comfortable, what rules do I need to I, you want when you want to play nice with people, you got to play nice. um but there are some people, and I'm not saying Travis is this type, but there are some people who just won't play nice, like Russ. They want to control over you. um in my local thing, the our city council actually has less power than the local planning commission, and I recognize that. Now, when I go to the planning commission, I'm going to talk about, hey, this is the money and the jobs that I can create to this area by doing this. What concerns do you have? Let me, before I break ground on anything, you tell me, what do you want me to do? What do you not want me to do? Because I want to play nice with you. And I've seen several times, and again, small town, just like Otter Creek, I've seen several people who they had their dream, they started working on it, and the planning commission was like, we don't like these things about it. And then it be turned into a pissing match between the two of them. Sometimes the planning commission won, sometimes the business owner won. Uh, but the thing is, that costs money. Good, like, you need good business people. Good business people come in and say, let's talk this thing up. As an example, we had a group probably about 6 months to a year ago come in this town and say, we're buying up land and we're going to put a solar farm. And the city council said, oh, are you? Because we don't want that. We don't want a solar. We have a solar farm. We don't want it any bigger. And this group said, well, if you don't support us, we're going to go to the state, and the they're just going to overrule you. And the city council was like they literally came in hot to the city council meeting. And and I'll give credit. There's two people. The one guy in the city council I know very well. He's a retired Marine. I've worked with him quite a bit. And they were just like, oh, okay. Well, you can go to the state, because with these guys, they came in hot, wanting to fight, like wanting to pretty much blackmail our city council and say, we're going to do this. I don't care what you're going to do. And the city council was like, oh, okay, okay. Knowing full well, guess guess what they had in their back pocket? The base. Do you want to know why that solar farm's not going to go in? Because this base has an airfield, and they don't want the pilots blinded. There's a whole area out here. It's called the Johnson Valley Recreational Area. It was BLM land. The base now owns it. And that was because BLM said, we don't want this. It's getting too expensive. We're going to sell it. The state was going to buy it to put in a solar farm. And the federal government said, nah, you're not doing that. We're just going to sell it to the base. And now the base operates it. So portion of the year, it's all open to off-road vehicles. For the other portion of the year, it's used for training. This is the only Marine Corps base that in the US that has grown in the last 10 years. So, you think the federal government is just going to let pilots be blinded by solar panels? Like that group coming in hot was a business mistake. Like they're going to spend so much money and think, "Oh yeah, we're going to get this cuz the state's on our side." And the federal government's going to say, "No, you're not doing it. It's we're going to not allow you for these reasons here." You don't think they will? The federal government does what the fuck it wants. But again, that's why I'm going to go to all these people and say, "Look, I'm looking to do these things. And I know I pretty much know what their concerns are gonna be. A big concern is gonna be a septic system because we don't have a sewage system here. We've got a very pristine desert. Everyone uses septic tanks, and they're gonna wanna know, okay, do you have a big enough area? Like that's gonna be a big discussion, and it'll I'll come at it as you guys tell me what do you want? You tell me what do you want me to comply with? What are your big concerns? So that way I can factor that into my business model. I think Zim has let the power go to his head. Zim got power drunk. Again, I think the state has the right to overturn Zim's decision. Um, Rogue is a good person. I love Rogue. And I love Rogue because she doesn't want to get into the drama just like me. Like we've talked a lot about the drama. And she showed me things and I said, I'm not getting involved in that. She's like, me either. I just wanted you to be aware. I'm like, go right ahead. The thing is, with when it comes to business and those things, a fight with your local thing with your local government will cost money. And I think with both those two, it's going to eventually come down to a thing of, hey, uh, what's it going to take? Like, what's it going to take? And here's the other thing: Otter Creek, Otter Creek cannot get into a protected legal battle. They have no money. Um, so if Travis were to get the backing of people with deep pockets for his project, normally you can't do this with a local government. Like if I got into a battle with my local city council, I'd probably lose because they have deeper pockets than me. Unless if I had some big financial backer who was like, no, we're going to do this. Um, and Otter Creek doesn't have that luxury. They don't have the money. They won't be able to fight it. They would need the county to come in. And does the county want to fight that battle? That's so. And if I were someone like Travis, that's how I would approach the Otter Creek Council and say, look, we we can do this the easy way or the hard way. The hard way is going to cost me and you both money. Let's find some way we can make these things happen. And that's what's going to happen. That would be the smart way to operate. I'm looking at the time, guys. I'm going to have to be going here. I, I I've got a big meeting at 8:15. It's not a normal meeting. But I've got a big one today. Hey, David, that I can recognize you were lied to. Okay, I can recognize you, but I don't want people to bring drama. And if you were bringing drama, I just don't want you here. That's just all it is. But I can also recognize when people have been lied to, and nothing that was done to me is nothing I can't forgive. Again, with my show, would much rather be welcoming to people than push people away. And there's a couple people out there who I've had words with who later on have made comments and stuff to me, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." And then they're like, even with our history, I'm like, "Look, I don't hold grudges." Like, unless if you've really done something to me, like, I don't care. I'll be welcoming to people. I don't have to agree with everybody 24/7. But yeah, some people get lied to and they listen to stuff. Eventually, and Tat had said it at one time. He was like, there was some discussion and someone had caused drama and I was being blamed, and he was like, "Look, I'll tell you this. I can tell you that that's nothing that Mike would want to be a part of, because he's seen enough of me in these last 2 years to know that there's drama out there I don't want to be a part of." Mr. Coop. Oh, I do. No, Coop. You and me, we we'll talk about the drama, and it's talking about the drama is it's a way to recognize things and to say, I can recognize these things are happening, and learn from other people's mistakes. I can see where these people got involved and it backfired on them. I'm going to learn from watching them and not be a part of it. And Coop's been around the block. He's had his YouTube channel for a long time. He knows all about the drama. Like, people will come and try to start drama, and if you don't, like, you can get it, you can get some views out of it, but it's ultimately gonna, if you look at Stupid Dave. He did of the anti what the Hales people, he doesn't even have the biggest audience, and he's been doing this the longest, but he's all about the drama every single day. Nothing but drama, nothing redeeming on his channel. And it's like, even when people started jumping on the drama, they surpassed you because people they'd already tuned out. Absolutely wrong, Rogue Mama. She will tell you when you're wrong. She'll let you know. She's come at me and said, "Hey, I think you're wrong about this," and I respect that. I respect people who will come at me and say, "I think you're wrong," rather than people. I don't like yes people. I have, and that's a problem with my depression. I'll listen to people who tell me negative stuff before I listen to people tell me positive stuff. But a lot of that is because my fear is, like, I can work against adversity. I've done it my whole life. Uh, there were people who told me I'd never be a Marine Corps officer. I was a Marine Corps officer and did just fine as a Marine Corps officer. Uh, but I had lots of people telling me, "You'll never do that. You can't do this. You can't do this." I listened to those people, and then I proved them wrong. I listened to them more than the people who said, "Oh yeah, you got this. You got this," because I didn't want to ever set myself up for making myself look like an idiot. Robbie told him last night not to go outside or he'd get served if he goes outside. That is horrible advice. Why are you afraid of being served? It's not going to stop any of the stuff. It just restarts it. That is such a strategic mistake. That's how you know who's an idiot. If, in a legal battle, if they're dodging the service, they're an idiot. Look at Luffman. He is screwed. Luffman is screwed. Right, Georgie? Hmm. All right, guys. It's 10 after. I got to get going. I appreciate you guys for being here this morning. I really do. Um, but yeah, I'll be around this weekend. I don't have any big plans. After being gone for so long, I'm gonna do laundry all weekend. I gotta clean my house and do laundry. He thinks by hiding it'll all go away. Oh, let me just tell you right now. Free advice that I learned from being a military leader. First off, problems don't get better with time. Okay? That's the first thing. And put this into your professional thing. Problems don't get better with time. Never be the senior person holding bad news. Push it up because and because you don't want to be the guy left holding the hot potato. Always push it up because if it's a problem, you get up high enough, someone will be like, "Hey, fix this." And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else about that I can say. But those are two really good pieces of advice, professional advice. Luffman is begging back to jail for the soap time in the shower. And I think you're onto something, Greg. I think he really wants something. Which, by the way, good morning, Bingo. Good morning, Greg. Is Mama Coop here? Good morning to Mama Coop if she is. If she's just listening on Coops. Yeah, Luffman is like if you want to look at what not to do, follow him. Like he doubles down on stupidity. But I'm gonna get going, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awaken to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awaken at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaken with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awaken at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, wanting just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaken with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaken with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awaken to lighten her load. America's awaken to lighten her load.